evening, everyone. Okay, that's better. So, anyway, hello, my name's Andy, and I was a little coy when I was coming up with my tagline for the poster this evening. I called it the C word. Now, yes, as some of you can guess, there are lots of potential C words that you can think of, but coming on stage with this in my hand, there may be one particular C word that's in everyone's mind at the moment when I'm holding in my hand a plastic pelvis with garishly coloured models of female reproductive organs. Of course, I mean children. But rest assured, I'm not going to be touching on children tonight. There is actually a good reason why I've got this with me, but I'll come on to that later, as it were. But, no, the C word in question is, in fact, cancer. Yeah, not so funny now. I just didn't want to put cancer on the posters for this whimsical little academic comedy evening for fear of alienating any potential audience members. At least before they bought their tickets. But you're here now. So, cancer. Funny cancer. It's it's difficult to talk about in the best of times. I think in most polite conversations it goes down about as well as that other C word. Children. But cancer is no laughing matter, which may make the next few minutes a little awkward. I think it might just be because we're sort of, if you go by the old notion that comedy equals tragedy plus time, then we're still in the middle of the tragedy. I think once we finally cure cancer, we'll look back on it with the same degree of mirth and hilarity we currently do with smallpox. Funny smallpox. But if we're in the midst of the tragedy, can we laugh at it? Should we laugh at it? I think we should. I think sometimes laughter is a good response to tragedy. Sometimes it's the only response. There has actually been studies into this. There's been studies looking at the effect of laughter on cancer patients. And what they found was humour is often used as a coping mechanism and can subjectively help to alleviate anxiety. Yeah, so there's more fabulous research there from the University of the League office. I'm a big fan of their work. But if I had to sum up my personal and professional reactions to cancer in one simple phrase, it would be this. Fuck you, cancer! Thank you. It's very cathartic. I like to start off every day with a couple of those, but it's even better when lots of people join in. So, if you care to indulge me, after 3, I'd like you all to give me a big fuck you, cancer. 1, 2, 3. Fuck you, cancer! Thank you very much. I did actually lobby for that to be made the official motto of the Cancer Research Centre when I worked. Now, they weren't having any of it. It creates the wrong impression. I think making the banner was a little premature.
Down and slap you when you swear.
Anyway. I work on ovarian cancer, which is the reason I have this little pelvis with me here. And for those of you who don't know, these little things here, they're the ovaries. They sort of sit on top of the uterus like a little pair of flappy ears. And exactly, I never really looked at things from this angle before. And I know if my ex-girlfriend were here tonight watching me sort of trying to instruct people about female anatomy, she'd be very amused. But no, I think looking at this, I find it looks almost like a little face. You know, the ovaries in the uterus here are bright blue, and it's not just any face. I think it's the alien Stitch from the Disney movie, Lilo and Stitch. And also the Disney animated series, Lilo and Stitch. And the direct-to-video sequels, Lilo and Stitch 2, A Stitch with Snitch, Stitch the Movie, and Leroy and Stitch. But those last three weren't as well received as I think I've just proven. But ovarian cancer, though, is kind of tricky, because if you can sort of imagine a woman round here. I often imagine a woman round here. The ovaries are kind of, they're in the middle. It's not as obvious to tell when something's wrong as it is with something like breast cancer or skin cancer, when it's pretty visible. So by the time we can detect ovarian cancer, it's usually pretty far along. Luckily, there are treatments that are effective on some people, but that means they're not effective on others. And the reason for this is kind of where I come in. I'm a geneticist. And I'm trying to be serious now, but I can't remember this. I'm a geneticist, and I look at the genetic changes in cancer cells that make them different from normal cells. And we talk about cancer like it's a single, discrete entity. It's not. It's lots of different diseases. And each cancer is unique. It carries its own specific set of mutations. And this is why not every therapy is effective on every patient, because the genetic changes, as well as influencing the type of cancer you get, influence the response you get to treatment. And, yes. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I do this, I look at the changes by reading the DNA. As everyone knows, I hope, here tonight, and if you, unless, you know, I've been looking at the quiz marks backstage, so maybe some of you don't know this. DNA is the instruction manual in all of your cells that carry the instructions that make you a person. It tells you sort of how tall you are, what colour your eyes are, what colour your hair is, etc. But it can go wrong sometimes. This is where we get diseases like cancer. And so I need to go through and just read through all of this DNA. And there's a lot of it. It's 3 billion letters long, and that's curled up inside each of your cells. If you take the DNA out of each of your cells, stretch it out, lay it out end to end, you die. But we don't have to do that, we can just look at a few cells. Because the DNA is the same in each of your cells, we only look at a few of them. So we can compare cancer cells to normal cells, and we look through these 3 billion letters, and not much of a plot, really. Turns out it's mostly about cats playing tag. There's a couple of the gags, but a lot of tat as well. Although, depending on who you talk to, it might be as little as 20% tat. I'm glad someone laughed at that, even if they don't know why. But no, we don't have any cures for cancer yet. We hopefully will at some point. But in the meantime, what can we do? We can try and alter our behaviour to minimise our own personal risk. And that basically just means doing all that boring shit your doctor's always telling you about. But it's basically, you know, don't smoke, eat vegetables every now and then, cut down the booze. But, yeah, we can beat cancer, we just need to sort of keep working on it. And I'm serious when I say that. Serious as cancer. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the